Hello, everybody. My name is the Scorpion, Hellfire King Spear Gaming, and welcome back to another brand new video. Today, everybody, I'm going to be wanting to be talking about is pretty much OKKO. Let's Be Heroes. Now, anyway, the episodes, by the way, about those in Cartoon Network. Well, anyway, so as I was wanting to get to that over with for that talk, exactly is that, well, what was pretty special about OKKO Let's Be Heroes? What's so special about that one? Well, the only thing I say what's so special about it is pretty much Lord Boxman. Now, why do I say Lord Boxman is a very good villain character in most other times? Well, I know that he may suck for a few times. I know that he does, but at least he had like a few robots to be yet to be in plan. So that way that he'll keep on trying to attack Lakewood Plaza for more likely for a lot of times, which I do say that Lord Boxman is just my super favorite villain character. But he was the one who brought up the ones who brought up the robots, which are Daryl, Shannon, and Raymond. And I mean, pretty much with all other characters that exactly was on side with him. Which I mean, that was actually pretty bit smart from Lord Boxman. Not gonna lie, he was very smart. Which I do say again, that he reminds me of Dr. Eggman from Sonic. Which I do say again, it's kind of a little bit similar and smarter and a little bit different, but it's a little bit close, as I'd say it's closer enough, I'd say that. So, yeah, it's actually pretty close to say how many times it's close. Now, anyways, I do have to say pretty much from OKKO Let's Be Heroes, I do have to say KO was a lot of a pretty bit of a alright character to begin with as the main character, as yet again from pretty much from Lakewood Plaza that I would have to say. Pretty much, I have to say that OKKO is actually pretty bit of a alright kid, exactly, which I do say that I'm not going to say that he was an alright person, but I'm only going to say that he's kind of been an okay character, I would say, pretty much hanging out with Carol, known as Chaos' mom. And then, of course, there was a reveal exactly in every other time that Mr. Gar was behind the way how I would see him. Pretty much that they were almost together, but there was a puzzle piece that puzzle pieces were breaking for a lot amount of times. Whatever Professor Venomous, yeah, Professor Venomous pretty much was the one who was pretty much laser blast exactly for the one who was behind most other things, which I do have to say that was very and almost very secretly revealing, but damn, that reveal was pretty fast. Which I do have to say that the reveal was a lot more fast whenever I heard the ones that were pretty quick. Which I mean, I was pretty much the one have to say that Lord Boxman was pretty much a bit an alright person to me, as I'd say he was a perfect, terrific villain, and pretty much okay, let's be heroes. I know he might get whipped in other times in the end, but he still became to be a lot more easier and better to be continuing his amazing plans, pretty much to dominate KO's friends, exactly known as Rad and pretty much Eden, or whatever. Sorry if I was getting her name incorrect, but again, I do have to say that, yeah, those plans were actually just pretty well decent. I do have to say that they're pretty decent, and they're pretty much great at different times for whatever that was going to go that time. So I have to say is that, well, gotta say is, okay, KO Let's Be Heroes is actually pretty much of an interesting thing, as I would say, that it's pretty interesting. Which, not gonna lie, I do say that OKKO and Let's Be Heroes is actually pretty good, and I do have to say about Mr. Gar, which I do have to say is about him. Well, he was the one who was the owner and the boss of Lakewood Plaza, the one that actually created the whole thing. They get all heroes to join in together, pretty much be defending the word from evil from Lord Boxman, which I do have to say is like, holy hell, that was interesting. Which I mean, there were a few stories. Like there's like a few stories, and most other characters for every other time. Like most of them were pretty bit based and pretty bit all right in the opinion and the fact that I do have to say in that fact that, well, as for Mr. Gar, he had to say that, well, he was pretty much the big guy around. Like he's the big guy of all time. Which pretty much he would be pretty much like telling the three of them to pretty much get to work or whatever. Pretty much like stroll around the plaza and stuff, and there was a big crush. that Mr. Gar was always still having with his pretty much his KO's mother, which exactly known as Carl. I mean, sorry, not that one. Carol. Yes, sorry. I was sometimes getting a little bit stuck on those other times, but whenever I get them incorrect, well, don't blame me sometimes if it gets incorrected or not. But I'm just trying to say is that I could be trying to be much aware as I can say as what I can try to do with it. So anyway, just have to say most of the story is pretty good, and I mean, pretty much with Professor Venomous's pet, by the way, that's known as Fink. I mean, dang, I mean, okay, well, she was pretty much like a guard dog. I mean, she could just be like a guard dog, but she could be sometimes a bit more of an easier target to pretty much target KO and Rad and Edith for a lot of times in the battle. Which I mean, I mean, she just went out there and just did it by her own plan, or just go with plans that had to be involved with pretty much with the free servants, or pretty much with the free robots that was along with Lord Boxman, that is Daryl and Shannon and Raymond, and then pretty much with Turbo exactly. I think I would say, but I have to say most characters were always pretty interesting to watch. I mean, I love the way how heroes and villains always should battle things out a lot of times. Which I mean, those were so well interesting ways. I do have to say that the robots are always pretty bit easier to do, since they pretty much would be helping Lord Boxman get pretty much a lot of good status and a lot of quilts, more likely to encounter Lakewood Plaza for a lot of other reasons to take them down exactly. And I do have to say the crossovers in OKKO Let's Be Heroes isn't actually a perfect standing. It's like the perfect standing to perfect standing. Like, I mean, they bring up Steven Universe, Ben 10, Teen Titans, or pretty much Sonic, and then Captain Planet. Like, seriously, you guys should definitely have considered watching those. I mean, dang, I mean, those were absolutely pretty smart, not gonna lie. I do see that Cartoon Network was pretty smart to come up with that kind of an idea, just to say that they could bring out, like, pretty much crossovers into pretty much of his either heroes again, exactly, which still bring that into solution. But why not bring villains into that kind of thing? Which I'm not quite really understanding that one. I mean, if AK, sorry, if KO, okay, KO Let's Be Heroes actually decides to pretty much put villains in crossovers, that would have been gold. It would have been gold to gold. I'd say that there would be double amount of gold if there were villains coming into that pretty much in that crossover. Not you know what I mean. Pretty much with crossovers with that. I mean, if villains would come into crossovers into KO, okay, KO, Let's Be Heroes, that there would have been the best quote and best opinion. I would definitely would say and give this like a god tier thumbs up for that if that was ever involved. But again, clearly, I just have to say that most of them were good. And I'd have to say about most other hero characters aren't even close to that. Is pretty much with KO, Rad, and Eden. I have to say that most other heroes are actually pretty standing, and a little bit heroes on most other standings. But most other ones are sometimes a lot more different betrayals that are coming around for other reasons. Again, pretty much that involves that they might as well have been somewhere else to something, I guess. But just have to say that most other heroes were pretty good. They're pretty funny, and I do have to say that whenever things were pretty funny, it's actually pretty good to say it, and not the least that it's still quite actually funny. Anyway, and also one more thing about the next one, I'd say that more other episodes were pretty good. I do have to say that pretty much like KO's other friend, that's known as pretty much the small one exactly. That's pretty much like a Frogodite that pretty much like joins with KO in the fleet. Pretty much with the heroes' his fleet. I do have to say that pretty much Dendi is actually pretty much of a smart engineer. Not gonna lie. I mean, she almost kind of reminds me of an engineer, pretty much back then from Team Fortress 2 exactly, that she almost reminds of an engineer. That she pretty much like gets upgrades for KO exactly to pretty much like overcome a lot of different things to beat Lord Boxman and Professor Venomous, or pretty much like other villains that are assigning to join the fight and definitely take down the most heroes every other time. But whenever I did see TKO actually became a darker form, I'd say was, wait, what? I mean, wait, hold on. Like, my reaction was like that. I said it was, hey, yo, hold on the pops, hold on the popcorn, hold on. like that was my reaction when I saw when the next form was TKO. Like, wait, hold on. Like, dang, dude, that's like the next thing I could ever see was the darker form. I mean, the darker form in KO was a lot super interesting. I mean, the only interesting I'd say is that Dark KO, which pretty much TKO, was actually pretty smart and pretty bit well punked exactly. I mean, pretty much like it's the evil version and the dark version of KO. I mean, like, no heck there, Sherlock. I mean, no heck on that, man. Which I do have to say is, wow. I mean, just like, yo, okay, I'm just like saying this, I'm just chill with this. I'm just definitely chill. Which, that was totally my reaction. I had to say was, yo, hold on, hold on. Like, yeah, just like, yeah, that's pretty much how I can say that. But, yeah. So if you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to give this one a like and comment, subscribe to the bell, be notified. And I do have to say is that, well done from Cartoon Network. I mean, well done from Cartoon Network, though. Which, I mean, even though that the show's not even there anymore, but I'm still gonna have to say is that, like, saying is, dang, good show and good stuff. I mean, good stuff by Cartoon Network. Which, I mean, it's at least kind of like the memorable thing that I could ever say, and whatever to say right now that I can say it's like the best thing to remember about. Pretty much like the best revisiting things that I can probably just say whenever I watch the entire shows about it. I mean, hey, don't believe it. If you guys do believe me, that sometimes I do watch most of the shows before even Cartoon Network and Warner Bros. Jumped in into the entire situation. I mean, I don't blame both of them at this time. I don't blame both of them. I'm only just saying I just have like a different, honest opinion about saying how the shows were good. Not bad ones are never that good, but I'm only just saying that most shows actually put good hits in well done ways. How I can say that. I mean, there was a time like most other episodes actually got like a marvelous job in most other good ways how I can say best ways possible for most casts that actually done well in interesting ways how I can say it. But they're actually pretty interesting. Honestly, so hope again to say is everybody's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this one a like and comment, subscribe the bell to be notified. And with that being said right now is that I do want to say one more thing before I actually will say this is time to say pretty much to get on the heck out of here. Which I'm just trying to say I'm going to be pretty much doing the next video or so. But anyway, here's one more thing before that I get going. By the way, so anyway, here's the last one I'd say. The last one. So the last one about like after when KO and his friends were actually about to split ways, they were still hanging around with each other. But again, I do have to say that dang, I was quite surprised that Lord Boxman and Professor Venomous were a thing. I mean, wait, that's actually a thing. Dang, I mean, I'm quite surprised that there was another thing going around with that. Pretty much with the two gays with each other. I mean, dang, I'm quite just pretty surprised for Lord Boxman and Professor Venomous. Which I mean, I have to say that Lord Boxman was always my favorite character because I like the ways how he keeps dominating the Lakewood Plaza and pretty much destroying the heroes and every other time. Like those are interesting facts. Interesting. Which I do have to say, whenever those boxes came in the sky, and when I was like, it just goes like down like that, and then pretty much the box opens. And then once the box always opens, the heroes has to go and fight them out of there and send them right back to Lord Boxman's place and back to his hood. I mean, seriously, that's just like so crazy I can say that. And I mean, well, if Lord Boxman and Professor Venomous were a thing, I mean, I'd be damned. I'd just be damned surprised. Which I am quite surprised how that actually was a reveal. So yeah, had to say that was definitely another reveal. And also about Enid and Red X. I mean, dang, I mean, Red Action. Hold on, sorry, I did not meant to say Red X. Sorry about that. I meant to say was Enid and Red Action. Well, about those two couples, by the way, that they were lesbians, by the way. I mean, I had to be quite surprised. I mean, there's just sometimes that there's different reveals. I mean, I'm just sometimes quite a little bit interested in those kind of reveals, but no one to be coming out there just saying is, oh, this one's bad, and says this one's super good, this one's good. Well, I'm not either one of those. I'm just trying to say is I'm just be quite interested to see how that ever went. So the only thing I'd be quite interested to see is how Enid and Red Action would have been a thing. By the way, pretty much that there is like lesbian to lesbian. I mean, dang. I mean, I'm just quite surprised. So, honestly, I just have to say is that, well, decent. Anyway, I thought that being said, as I hope you guys enjoyed the video, give this one a like and comment, subscribe the bell to be notified. And I thought that being said, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much I gotta say, and okay, KO, let's be heroes. I give this one 10 out of 10, which I'm saying it's a big 10, a big number 10, like it's a big inch 10, like a big giant 10, which I'm talking about like the rating 10 out of 10. So I just have to say that okay, KO, let's be heroes is a very super super amazing show. Which I mean, it's kind of like Sonic all over again, but it's into something else that isn't Sonic. So again, it's kind of different, but there's just more heroes just to be put into it. So anyway, just have to say that, well, guys, say interesting stuff from Cartoon Network. Once again, interesting stuff. Anyway, that being said here is I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this one a like and comment, subscribe to the bell to be notified. And without that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the very next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. And also, bye-bye, everybody. My name is the Scorpion Hellfire King Spirit Gaming. With that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone, and signing out.